I like to wait to see how things turn out. If you apply some pressure, I like to wait to see how things turn out. If you apply some pressure. You know that I would love to see you next year. I hope that I still alive next year. You might get tired the way I think about myself. I really thought about myself. What to do? I'm the body. It's like well, how it will happen. Want to smile to you? Well, how am I supposed to know? I speak to you. Well, how take it one I like to wait, see how things turn out. If you apply some pressure, I like to wait, see how things turn out. If you apply some pressure.
Oh, well, there's the long rules and short rules. I've done a pre-market analysis on the hourly chart here. Just marked out an FVG, which has been tapped a couple of times. Overly, my bias is short. This is a zone I've marked out, which has been tapped a few times. And then I did also drop to the 15-minute, and there was a fair value up there. There's one up here. There was one here, but that's been taken out already, so probably won't come back up there. And then on the 5-minute, we have a couple of fair value gaps here, all bearish. So overall, my bias is bearish. There was a fair value gap there, but that's been taken out. There was one there, but that's been taken out. The rules-wise, let me just pull them back. What bloody hell are they? Let me take that. There we go. So rules-wise, we're looking for shorts, so I'll just hold that one up. You're looking for the 14 and 20 EMA and sync, as they are. 14 is the green, 20 is red. Price to close below the 20 EMA. A bull followed by a bear candle basically means if you're looking for shorts, you want a bull candle like this to be followed by a bear candle like this. The bear candle has to have a small wick on the bottom. There's a 75% rule you can take there, so it would have to be above this 0.25 line for a short. Stop loss is above the high, or a sensible stop. You could put the stop, if this were an entry, you could put the stop just above it there, or you can be a bit more safe and put it above the high in case it retraces back. And then target, well, I don't do this for the targets. That's just, I don't want to play like that. Enter at the close of the bar, and let's enter at the close of the candle. And then the final thing that's needed is the volume needs to be higher on the entry candle. which we don't have here, so that's not a valid trade. I mean, it is in line with my bias, but yeah, with the volume not being as much, no, that doesn't make it a valid trade. So I just need to wait for a setup now. In the meantime, I'm just testing my normal strategy. Oops. Oh yeah, I didn't need to write that. I can just speak. Yeah, not much happening here. That would have been quite a nice trade to enter, I think. I don't know when you arrived, but yeah, I'm kind of bullish on the day. Everything is pretty much telling me we're bullish for the day. 1 hour trend is very much bullish. Man, they're annoying. I'd probably be targeting down here somewhere. But wait and see how it goes, eh? Are you working at the moment, or are you just, is it evening? What time is it there? This is like Asia, so for me, it's like 11:15 in the morning. Working? Oh, what do you do that lets you follow live streams at the same time? You're just on your computer, like working from home. pull the rules down onto the screen now for you. Yeah, that's the long and the short rules. See if they make sense. I think I said already, the one thing I don't really pay attention to is the target, the initial target for this strategy that was given out with it was just the range of the entry candle. So if you'd entered on this one, for example, your range would have just been there, down there. So you're kind of going for, say, a 1-to-1, but not really, because there'd still be the range. Even if you'd covered that high, you'd have still been going for the range. So it would have been a 0.6 target. But it's a scalping strategy. So, I mean, that's not too bad because you just get in, get out for quite a few trades. I think that's the point of it anyway. I've got an FTMO demo account that I'm.
The past is never dead. It's not even past. William Faulkner, Requiem for a Night.
Going to be trying out.
I was already awake and staring into the dark when Caballo came scratching at my door. Also, she whispered. Come on in, I whispered back. I looked on my watch. 4:30. In half an hour, we were supposed to start out for our rendezvous with the Tarahumara. Months earlier, Caballo had told them to meet us in a little glen of shade trees on the cliff up of Hills Mountain. The plan was to push up and over the creek, then down the backside and cross the river to the village of Ulique. I didn't know what Caballo would do if the Tarahumara didn't show up, or what I'd do if they did. Travelers on horseback give themselves 3 days for the 35-mile journey from Batopilas to Ulique. Caballo planned to do it in 1. If I fell behind, would I be the one wandering lost in the canyons this time? And what if the Tarahumara didn't show? Would Caballo lead us into no man's land to search for them? Did he even know where he was going? Those were the thoughts that kept me from sleeping. But Caballo, it turned out, had worries of his own. He came in and sat on the edge of my bed. Do you think the kids are up for it? He asked. Remarkably, they seemed fine after their near-death day in the canyons. They'd put away a good meal of tortillas and frijoles that evening, and I hadn't heard any sounds of distress from the bathroom during the night. How long till Giardia hits? I asked. Giardia parasites, I knew, had to incubate for a while in the intestines before erupting into diarrhea, fever, and stomach cramp. A week or two. So if they don't come down with something else by this morning, they might be okay till after the race. Caballo muttered. Yeah. He paused, obviously chewing over something else. Look, he went on, I'm going to have to pop there for Ted between the eyes. The problem this time wasn't Ted's feet, it was his mouth. It's in the face of the Raramuri. They're going to get real uncomfortable, Caballo said. They're going to think he's another fisher and split. What are you going to do? I'm going to tell him he's got to keep it shut tight. I don't like telling people what to do, but he's got to get the message. I got up and helped him roust the oven. The night before, a friend of Caballo's had loaded our bags on a burro and set off for Urique. So all we had to carry was enough food and water to get us there. Bob Francis, the old backcountry guide, had volunteered to drive Luis's father the long way around the mountain in his 4x4 pickup, sparing him the hike. Everyone else turned out quickly. By 5 a.m., we were picking our way over the boulders toward the river. The canyon moon glittered on the water, and bats were still darting overhead as Caballo led us to a faint footpath skirting the waterline. We fitted into single file and shuffled into an easy jog. The party kids are amazing, Eric said, watching me glide along behind Caballo. They're more like the comeback kids, I agree. But Caballo's big worry is, I pointed ahead to barefoot Ted, whose outfit for the hike consisted of red shorts, his green five-finger toe shoes, and an anatomically correct skeleton around his neck. Instead of a shirt, he wore a red raincoat with the hood knotted under his chin, and the rest flapping loose over his shoulders like a cape. Dangling from his ankle was a string of bells, which he'd gotten because he'd read somewhere that Tarahumara elders wore. Good mojo, Eric did. We got our own witch doctor. By sunup, we left the river and turned up into the mountains. Caballo was pushing hard, even harder than he had the day before. We ate on the move, chomping down quick bites of tortilla and energy bars, sipping conservatively on our water in case it had to last all day. When it got light enough to see, I turned and looked back to get my bearings. The village had vanished like brigandine, swallowed whole by the forest. Even the trail behind us seemed to dissolve into the thick green foliage as soon as we passed. It felt like we were sinking into a bottomless green sea. Not too much farther, I could hear Caballo saying. He was pointing to something I couldn't make out yet. See that cluster of trees? That's where they'll be. The Arnulfo, Louise said, wonder in his voice. I'd rather meet him than Michael Jordan. I got closer and saw the trees. I didn't see any people. The flu's been going around, Caballo said, slowing down and tilting back his head to squint at the hills above us for signs of life. There's a chance some of the runners will come later, if they're sick, or if they have to take care of their family.
Not much happening here. kind of waiting for a pullback. There we go. Pull back. Yeah, so we might be getting an entry after this. I'd say I'm pretty intrigued to see how this system works out. I've not started back testing yet because I'm testing a different system still. And I've still got 2.5 years of testing to do before I can before I'll have any free time.
Tickling the fancy, pouring out your charm to meet your own demands and turn it up as well. Oh, they long for dandy, knocking on the back door, climbing through the window. Hubby's gone away, and while the cat's away, the mice are gonna play. Oh, you low down dandy, 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 dandy. You know you're moving much too fast, and dandy. And see the people settle down. And when you're old and grey, you will remember what they said. The two girls are too many, three's a crowd, and four you're dead. Oh, dandy, dandy, when you're gonna give up? Are you feeling old now? You always will be free. You need no sympathy. A bachelor you will stay. And Andy, you're alright. Yeah, 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 yeah. I find dead back and I start again. This cat will slot me like childbirth. Right from the core, and down, I knock right from the core, and down, and I knock right from the core. Study, 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 study. Like from the core and a lot like from the core and a lot like from the core and a lot like from the core and I like I core I know I like I core I know I like I core I know I know I like I core I know I like I core I
Sing you, I believe all this week for you to walk away. You're so kind to me. Your mama you're let's say it turns you
Might actually get a trade here if the volume picks up with valid. We've got 14 shorts. 14 and 20 EMA are in sync. Price is below the 20 EMA and it should close below it. Bull followed by bear, bull candle, bear candle. Stop loss will be above the high, which I would cover this high here. And small bottom wick, which will be basically it needs to close below the 0.25 line. Our main thing here is volume, really. It just depends if we get the volume. That first non-trade there would have been a beautiful trade to enter, actually. Stop above there. I am going to trade this with a bit of discretion, but I am kind of wary after 2 losses yesterday. No, 1 loss yesterday, which was a discretionary trade. I just don't really trust myself discretionary-wise. I've never really traded like that. Volume is picking up. What have I got left? 1 minute left on this candle. There we go. Volume looks to have crept up there. Yeah, so volume's higher now. As long as it closes below there, that'll be a valid trade. Let's get rid of that out of my way. Target-wise, like I said, I've got a delete that bloody thing off the way. I've got a 15-minute fair value gap down here. I'm just going to move that, which I'm a bit dubious on. Oh, and that is also not quite a valid trade. So we've got the more volume, we've got the bear followed by a bull followed by a bear, but we don't have it close. It's the wick's too large at the bottom. Again, discretionary wise, you could take that trade. I am kind of dubious with a fair value gap just down here, but you can get a 2R to the middle. Of course, it feels like all the trades you don't take absolutely smash through targets. Like I say, that one there was a potential trade, but didn't have enough volume. This one here, potential trade, but not quite meeting the rules at the 0.25 line. And both of these, from the look of it, would work out to be winners. I'm not sure how I'm going to play it with entering 2 trades. Say I was in this trade, whether I'd have even looked at taking a second trade yet. I'm just going to play it by ear for the next couple of months and just forward test it on FTMO demo accounts. I did think about just having a demo account, but I like the idea of doing it on a funded one because, well, why not? I can record all the results down manually anyway. Oh, that's not coffee.
like this. I ain't the one that gets played like a poop butt. See, I'm from the street, so I know what's up on these silly games that's played by the women. I'm only happy when I'm going up there. But you know, I'm a menace to society, but girls and fighters are so fly to me. So I step on with aggression. Listen to the behind it, so I walk over and say how you doing. See, I'm only down for schooling, but you know, you gotta play it off cool. Cause if they catch you slipping, you get schooled now for your money, son. Next thing you know, you get their hair and their nails done. Just show them off. But when it comes to sex, they got a back up or a headache. It's all give money and watch your heart break. They'll drop you like a bag because the brother with money, yo, they gotta have it. Messing with me, though, they get none. You can't choose you, girl, because I ain't the one.
Girl, you got the money you can, honey. Because if they ain't got no money, they can't do nothing for me but get out of my face. I know what you can, girl. You ain't around unless you got dollars.
Sometimes I used to wonder how the hell an ugly dude get a fine girl's number. He's getting choose for his docket. I tell a girl in a minute, I drive a bucket and won't think nothing. She can ride or walk, either leave it or love it. Knowing that I'm not the old. He say I'm a roofer in I double G A. Damn it on me. You know I felt good with the beat. A brother like me is only out for one thing. I'm with my dealing, but I won't see your doorstep where we going. But you were taking for granted, no doubt. And that's the day. I don't want to do the wild thing. You want lobster? I think you're bucket thing. And when I take you, you're getting frustrated. You can't do Ice Cube and you hate it. What you see, I don't go nuts. Over girls like you with the big old butt that start coming out the pocket, knocking, but when the damage is done. You can only lay me, girl. You can't play me, girl. For the simple fact that I ain't the one.
I don't care how they look. If they got me look up a bang, you know, yeah, I just make them think I'm fine. Thank you, can I get some money?
Give me money while I buy. Gang is getting took for your shit, for your money or something. 9 times out of 10, they get mad when I put it in perspective. So let's see if my knowledge is a pleasure. So brothers, man, they rocking you behind, paying no mind. You got money to yourself, homie, and if you got a name and a number without going under, you can't. I used to get no play, nothing to say behind me. Cause I said I had a bitch 190. But I lied and played the one. That's who gets the fun. But that's what you get trying to play me for my money. Now, don't you feel, but I don't give a hoot, huh? Cause I'm not on that material and try to make that cube like stereo. How many times do I have to say it? Cause if I have to go get a girl, you think I'm a sucker? But I ain't the one. I don't see no rings on this thing. All I want is beat it. All the time I was searching, knowing the love my life. I get tons of questions myself, but never finding answers. No one all this time, I still remember when you said, "Ah, what you promised, I could never listen. You know I love you, but I just know I love you, but oh, oh, I need you. Not so listen, listen, please. Your eyes, don't know what you doing. I can believe it's the way that you do. Maybe my fault. I need to make reasons. When I'm not sure of this time, I still say, ah, listen, how could I forget? Oh, I love you, but I just can't do this. You know I love you, but oh, listen, listen to me. I can feel your eyes go to me. It's just stay too long. Oh, but myself. Oh, no, somebody, just kidding about somebody. Listen, you know I love you, but I just can't. You know I love you, but I'm playing for keeps. Oh, but for keeps. Oh, love you, I want to. Look of rain that falls, it's the Sahara Desert says it all. God's creation's great and small. The one thing we're all waiting for is peace on us. It's a miracle we need. The miracle.
Another potential trade setup here. All rules look to be met so far. And I've got 38 seconds left of time. I'm very much... how do I just hide everything? There we go. I'm very much aware I have a fair value gap right underneath me. And that is a valid setup. So I'm going to enter that with a 2. I enter on MT5 though, so you want to see is the entry. And I'm going to be putting it as a stop order. Sell. What can I put as my TP2? So that's me entered into this trade on my, and I've gone for a 2 RTP. So if I just run through the rules there, we have 14 and 20 EMA and sync, which is these two candles here, EMAs here. Prices below the 20 EMA, yeah, right below 20 EMA, which is the red one. Bull followed by bear. So we've got bull candle followed by bear candle. Bear has a small wick on the bottom, and that is, I've measured that, so it's in the literally only just meeting that rule. It's I use the fib retracement. Basically, it has to be in the underneath the 0.25 line. And stop loss above the high. Well, I've gone above the next high wick for a bit more security. I'm forward testing, so I'll just see how that goes. Target range of the bear's candle, I'm not doing that. I'm going for a 2R, and I'll move my stop loss to break even at 1R and enter at the close of the candle, which I've done. And volume needs to be higher, which you can see it is. The volume of that candle is much higher than this candle. And now to wait.
Son of a gun, but when it has the fun, by the kilo in the ton, like I'm out with my words. I got the curse of a verse, but oh, that's what I'm not. I just get caught. That outpace status of the football zoo. We like to see that I'm in the house, and I think it's almost police, now they got don't get mad. Don't get in the judge show. Right. So try to say $20 bill. Or pound like line on my Bible. I'm too busy sucking the title. Feeling seen my ways in me. And that's why Marine's got M16. I think I love her, but she's defective. The bullshit detective. Wonder why she got neglected. I like it. She turned up here. I have a beer. I took her like they want to be. Turned everything like this. But please don't have a little quick with me. And don't fly me out to the end with me. Cause I've been around the world. The 17. Don't get in the church. She don't care. So try to was in the I'm always saying that the same song. Don't get me in the church. Show. So it's got your sodas with the $20 bill. My mom always told me never drink cocktails. Roll down the window because I'm feeling kind of ill. Don't go to the church show. So it's got your sodas with the $20 bill. My mom always told me never drink cocktails. I'm always told me never drink cocktails. Really good. Like, fucking room started spinning and shit. And my friend came in, he was like, no, man, you put that shit up your nose again? I was like, no, and I, like, everything was just spinning, I couldn't even see. And like, started, I was like, I'm rhyming and shit, and I just started laughing on the fucking floor. It's therapeutic for whoever's there to use it. It's like listening to it. You probably do what it's said to do just from listening to it. It's got the power to get you to do it. When this shit comes on, I wanna see some shit jump off, some bitch get slapped, some motherfucking kid get stoned. Get this song, go run out and buy this disc and try this shit. As much coke as I just did. Sounds like these got me doing lines like these. Plus I grab a pencil every time that I like weed. It's probably because of the drugs. Shady does what he does, and here's what he is. I'm busy with these kids.
Hey Stephanie, let's take some ecstasy. I pull your pants down, bitch, and have sex with dog next to you. Till I'm dead, I'm taking blood to the head. Needles in my broken leg, listen to Grateful Dead. These mescaline got me sure that I can fuck any whore with genital warts from the warp tour. Who's in this down in my snap hole? Cussing out in his skull. The liars. Fuck it. I was born with half a brain. Vision cane. That's celebrity basketball games. You motherfuckers think I'm a gimmick. Cause I got a calf on the tattoo with low and no limit. The last time I stood for flow, I ended up in Denver, Colorado with an Iggy Pop show. Was already smoking a half a pound. Fucking the engineer's wife while he's mixing my song down.
Like, back when I first went on tour, I like went crazy. I was like out of control. Fucking wasted every night. And like,
waking up the next morning like, where the fuck am I at? What's going on? Like, bro, got me sipping in the mannequin. 8 years old, swallowing Hennessy, standing over my banister, laughing with a tongued out caliber. The weed that I'm selling is flex is like the back of a tarantula. I keep a substantial amount of nigga with smacking dust. Capsule to expand our blunts. I roll it up and take the pressure to the head. Now I'm looking like an extra on Night of the Living Dead. Until they find me on the stretcher. I'm quick to sample anything. Bitch, you got a tester? This crank can have me blowing up bangs like Uncle Fester.
What's the lie? You will admit that I'm a fiend. Hot beans to names, known with amphetamines. Ghetto kings, Medellin with the smell of green. Got a jello spleen and see yellow rings. Blue image and purple mushrooms. Missing since yesterday, perfect desperate. Here on Judgment Day, known from Special K. Time for X and vitamin C. Swallow Hennessy along with Tylenol 3. Grind in the teeth at the signs of the E. I lost 6 days at a time in the week. The crime in the street, hold your parents for ransom. YD12 gang rape Marilyn Manson. In 12 bottles, we broke a pound of the chronic. Barked at my stomach line and drowned in my vomit.
I always tell people, saying like, you got an addiction, don't admit it to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Keep that shit to yourself. Because if anybody sees that, you know what I'm saying, when you're out in the public eye and shit, they're always gonna think that you're on that shit, even if you're not. So I always tell my friends, saying, but I mean, like for me, I don't give a fuck. I'll probably end up dying from this shit one day. Probably pick up a newspaper in the morning and it's like Eminem died from drug overdose. You know what I'm saying? And my friends, they ain't no fucking better. You know what I'm saying? They ain't nothing but influences, bad influences to me. So, peer pressure. It is like all peer pressure. It boils down to these things. I give into it. So do they.
We're getting another setup here. Hard to see on that one. By the way, I hadn't quite decided whether I'd be taking second trades or not. Looks like a valid setup still. Get rid of that out of the way, make it easier to view. Like I say, I'm wary that there's a 15-minute fair value gap here, which we seem to be reacting to.
Tried this shit if I was with you. Maybe you would have picked another time, or maybe chose another way. Or maybe my prayers would have convinced him to choose another soul. Shit, it's just me, Mama, and Tony now. Man, you look so peaceful right now. How can I argue with that? They say the good die young. So I think that you should have fun when you're young. Stop wait for no one. God calls, you gotta go home. They say the good die young. So I know that we gonna have fun in this life, cause you always get one. God called for me, don't cry. So that everybody heard their mama say every day's like this. When you see one of your friends die in the midst of the struggle until the circumstances arrest that they take. Just to prove a point to a friend, even then, accidents are prone and happen to any man or woman that's coming up to pretend.
No setup for that.
I guess that's the way things go.
See how this goes. Hopefully we'll just bounce off the 20 EMA there and then come back down. Who knows?
I did it. I still got a lot to prove to show. I just wish we ain't had to lose blood to the struggle. You know, they say that the good die young. I think it's good. Wait for no one. God calls, you gotta go home. They say the good die young. I know that we don't have fun. This life comes from you. God calls, but don't cry, just go home. I know you used to dissolve some silly shit, but niggas in my clique is dying quick.
So I got stopped out of that on my FTMO challenge. That's got stopped out for a loss. Yeah, I think I might as well see what happens now.
My wife name is P. 31, y'all. 51, 50. I'm in the back on that tragic day. My phone rung and Bazaar's voice telling me Bugs was gone home. It was like a knife piercing my chest and I couldn't breathe. I didn't want to accept it, didn't want to believe it. I swear with his weight, dog. I cried so hard, literally. The man had to carry me. It was tearing at my heart cause he died over something so petty and so small. A human life is so very precious. I hope y'all understand how I'm feeling cause I love you, bugs. I wanna rhyme with you, laugh with you, hug you, bugs. But I can't. You were so close to see your dreams. A coward came along and took you away from the teams. But don't mistake this track, it's just another song. This goes out to everyone who lost a loved one. Since you know this is this thing that you die. This like control. Don't cry.
They say it's never too late to have another sound. Let the fun could turn back the hands of time. God should forget what I did as a kid. It wasn't my time. Dreams were just 3 gunshots. The fun stopped when your homies up in the box. My dude sold, let's go, snuffed by the cops. I used to question a lot. There's a guy around his face. If you never so much rain, he gave nothing. But he took my homies, took us over in 11th grade. Now I hope to see his face at the heaven gates. It ain't never late in the game. Satan remains with a grudge of 6 months. Straight to the flame. My heart aches with the pain. The life limit breath. We gotta have fun now. There's only minutes left. And it's just the stretch. I'm just instructed to get fast on my falling hands. I got enough tears.
When I was younger, I knew 4 brothers that wasn't wise. That crashed and the driver died. My mother on the passenger side was paralyzed. And I'm surprised by the look of that ride. Catch a other survive. 9 months later, another one died. Somebody shot him in the side when he was starting up his ride. Years ago, Marty was my man. Reggie, I wish that I was with you in that thing. And Buzz, if it wasn't for you, you know I wouldn't be stepping in this booth and acting fool. I miss y'all. This thing's the feeling y'all. What things you feel? What you do? We got to
I think I took this trade a little bit too literally by not taking it. It was a little bit. Yeah, we get another valid setup here. Potentially. Stop above there. Be aiming for a 2R. And it's closing the bottom quarter. It's just about a valid setup by the look of things. Maybe not. I mean, doing it very precisely with that, we are not. I don't do it very precisely because you've got to be pretty quick. So I have entered into this trade. Yeah, I have entered into this. I mean, confluence-wise, you've seen a good-sized pullback here. You've had it touch the 20 EMA and strongly push off, and then we've had comparatively, we've had a strong, and volume-wise, we've had a strong close. So again, I'm aware there's a 15-minute fair value gap here that we've just come out of, but that could have been test, try to break above these highs, failed to break. Now it's going to push back through. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's see. 6.
Started to dance to my own play. When I looked, the cafe was empty. Then I heard Wolfie sing my garden. So I tried
Nope. And there's another loss. 2 for 2.
Spotless white shirts, their black hair streaked with water, interrupted their chatter to politely wish us, "Buenos dias." "Gonna be a hot one," Caballo said, as we ducked the sign out front. "Hay teléfono?" he asked the woman who greeted us. "Are the phones working?" "Todavía no," he said, shaking her head in resignation. "Not yet." Clarissa had the only 2 separate phones in all Bacofillas, but service had been knocked out for the past 3 years, leaving shortwave radio the only form of communication. For the first time, it hit me how cut off we were. We had no way of knowing what was going on in the outside world, or letting the outside world know what was happening to us. We were putting a hell of a lot of trust in Caballo, and once again, I had to wonder why. As knowledgeable as Caballo was, it seemed crazy to think. The aroma of his breath managed to push his heart. The fried egg smothered in homemade salsa and freshly chopped cilantro and sitting atop thick hand-patted tortillas. The food is pretty delicious to wolf down, so we end refilling our coffee a few times before getting up to go. Followed Scott's example and tucked an extra tortilla. Only after we finished did I realize that the party cake hadn't shown up. I checked my watch. It was already pushing 10 a.m. "We're leaving," Caballo said. "I'll be back for them," Luis offered. "No," Caballo said. "They could still be in bed."
We've got to hit it if we're going to dodge the afternoon heat. Maybe it was for the best. They could use a day to rehydrate and power up for the hike tomorrow. No matter what, don't let them try to follow us, Caballo told Luis's father, who was staying behind. They get lost out there, we'll never see them again. That's no joke. Eric and I cinched tight our hydration packs, and I pulled a bandana over my head. It was already steaming. Caballo slid through a gap in the retaining wall and began picking his way over the boulders to the edge of the river. Barefoot Ted pushed ahead to join him, showing off how nimbly he could hop from rock to rock in his bare feet. If Caballo was impressed, he wasn't showing. You guys, hold up! Jan and Billy were sprinting down the street behind us. Billy had his shirt in his hand, and Jen's shoelaces were untied. You sure you want to come? Scott asked when they handed up. You haven't even eaten anything. Jen tore a power bar in two and gave half to Billy. They were each carrying a skinny water bottle that couldn't have held more than 6 swallows. We're good, Billy said. We followed the stony riverbank for a mile, then turned into a dry gully. Without a word, we all spontaneously broke into a spot. The gully was wide, leaving plenty of room for Scott and Barefoot Ted to flank by and run through the grass. Check out their feet, said Anna. Even though Scott was in the Brooks Trail shirt he helped design, and Caballo was in sandals, they both skimmed their feet over the ground just the way Ted did in his bare feet, their foot stripes in perfect sync. It was like watching a team of ripples on her stockings circle the shoulder. Caballo's feet rocky washout. Eric and I eased back for a walk, obeying the to the top, walked. When you're running 50 miles, there's no dividend in bashing up the hill and then being winded on the way down. You only lose a few seconds if you walk, and then you can make them back up by flying downhill. Eric believes that's one reason ultra runners don't get hurt and never seem to burn out. They know how to train, not strain. As we walked, we caught up with Barefoot Ted. He'd had to slow down to pick his way over the jagged, fist-sized stones. I sprinted up the trail ahead. We had at least another mile of crumbly rock to climb before the trail leveled and hopefully smooth. Ted, where are your 5 fingers? I asked. Don't need them, he said. I made a deal with Caballo that if I handled this hike, he wouldn't get mad anymore if I went barefoot. He rigged the bet, I said. This is like running up the side of a gravel pit. Humans didn't invent rough surfaces, Oso, Ted said. We invented a smooth one. Your foot is perfectly happy molding itself around rocks. All you've got to do is relax and let your foot flex. It's like a foot massage. Oh, hey, he called after us as Eric and I pulled ahead. Here's a great tip. Next time your feet are sore, walk on slippery stones in a cold creek. Unbelievable. Lay your hands on me. Lay your hands on me. Lay your hands on me. Lay your hands on me.
No setups here. Well, we've had a bull followed by a bear. We're not below the 20 EMA, and price hasn't closed in the bottom 25%. It's up on the 15-minute. So basically, we bounced off that fair value gap again. Didn't even take out the lows there, but it's just come off that fair value gap everywhere I was trying to short. Be interesting to see how often that happens. Interesting to see what happens next.
So we both lie close together, a few miles apart inside. Was it
Something I did or something.
did my words not come out right? No, it's right.
Oh, well, that actually is a valid setup there, which I completely missed because I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, that's valid. We have Bull Bear followed by Bull Bear Bar followed by Bear Bar. Closed under the 20 EMA. EMAs are still in sync. Set a pending order for that, I suppose. See if price comes back to entry. Well, I've set that as a pending order on my challenge account now. So if price comes back in, I'll get tagged into it. And if it doesn't, I won't.
Instead of making love, we both made a silhouette. And now I found somebody new, and that I never meant that much to. If we let love be silence, cause like I can't see. Says it's gone, it's like it died, as it's gone.
There's our fair value gap.
When I'ma state my name, split that thing. None of y'all niggas got shit to say. I'm off, I got to pay. Hell out of hoes because I can. Prostitute, I want my loyalty. I don't give a fuck about your broke ass man. And y'all giving niggas what they need. I feel bitches understand I mean it's what the day is. Growing up, I scared till I'm throwing up. I say I hit you, so what? What's your function? Where's your work? All you wanna do is wanna stick him up. You wanna rob me, but I got too much. B12, mentally lifted. Niggas wanna duck when I got the business. I fuck with me, I fuck with you. Got out to ride, so fuck with you. I got the name. I made this off. Captain man, I paid them all. I made them call. Blood shit. The hell you motherfuckers get? You run this bitch. So hey, you ain't gotta be scared to fuck. If you want head, just prepare this stuff. Look at the nigga don't care to that. Every stroke is 100 bucks. Respect the game. Cause it's love, so I'm gonna lay up and get my job. You just stuff. You just mine. Dirty gang. I'm your bitch, my bitch. This stuff. You just mine. I'm your kid, my bitch, with
Just smile, dirty dad. I'm your spit, my bitch, get live. Don't bring me mine, dirty dad. I'm your kid, my bitch. I suck this thing in the way. But dang, ain't nothing this like all lady. Knowing the facts, knowing the facts is why I got the whole of the facts, warm the facts. I'm this game, but this thing, you playing, you don't cook thing, but I won't thing. That T, tell that T, nigga, I'm an L7, I have to swear. My bottom roll, I know it. Oh, what's gonna make a lot of dough? With some fast hits and swallow slow. Keep talking back. Now walk the track, I don't pay for ass, keep up my gas. You can slap with short of cash. I get whiplash when I hit the gas, like I like the window with a pass. What's my scratch? It's back, it's stuck, it's smoking, hit me or it's a token of my appreciation. Another crime for you to hit. I don't give a fuck if you got to go home for kids. Since it's another occupation, shit, you stuck with me. Fuck with me and I'ma smack you up here, struck you up, get your mom or something. Trying to want like a trying to sucker. The fuck you here until it ain't for fuckers. You know what? Say nothing. I just never came to a lazy heart. I want to make it back. I went out to then to take it back. You pay me, think I never take you back. You only have to put away that I'm hate you at it. Oh, recognize that niggas do too. Because they realize that niggas do too. Don't like the chick they had to do. Bitch, hold my dad down when I see you. They don't be asking me any questions or harassing me, calling stressing. Or I may have to release some aggression. Teach you a lesson. Look at my hands down. Watch my damn spouse. Put your pants down. I fuck my man's down. Take your damn mouth and get your damn house. All the damn block. Suck on my damn block. Just stop. You just smile. Dirty dad. I'm your kid. You my bitch. Just stop. You just smile. Dirty dad. I'm your kid. You my bitch. You just stop. You just smile. Dirty dad. I'm your kid. You my bitch. You give me my. Go get me my. Dirty dad. I'm your kid. You my bitch. Fucking dirty kid. Fucking dirty kid. Niggas want pussy. And now need cash. So mom, get out there and start selling those dirty ass. The boss supposed to hit him. Then switch on. You fuck it. Unless you give one of my victims. Shut up, Jake. You talking about shit. Everybody get fucked with your thing, boy. Never see a pimp like me.
Okay, well, that's taking me into the fray.
It's my 5,000. It's 50 cheeseburger. Go suck. Look at a bachelor party. Who wants you to kill you? Love never hurt your body. Your kids, my bitch, you just smile. You know the yeah. Your kids, my bitch, you just smile.
Anyone that really bugs me here.
Bitch, don't bring me mine. Dirty yeah. Your kids, my
Yeah.
bitch, that's all you really is. Dirty, yeah, the nasty, yeah, stinky, yeah, the filthy, yeah, the stinky, yeah, the bitch. But I love you, Tim. And there you have it, goddammit. The fundamentals of pussy. You heard it there first. From the dirtiest dog you ever seen in your goddamn life. But this is a goddamn thing on the scene. Because we always wilding. You know what I'm saying? All what everybody else talking about. We let you know right here. The different thing, dude. We love when you hear in a dirty ass bed. That's what we do. You know, when we saw hit heroin parties back in 1968, the pussy is all green. I see what it is,
All right, well, that came back and tagged me in. Now let's see what it's going to do.
Still fucking, still want to drink it, still your dog will be alright. Nah, nigga, guess who? Yeah, still doing that shit, huh? Oh, yo, yeah, still break this nigga, AK nigga, I can't keep it home a lot. I'm frequent the spot that I'm known to rock. Hit a face from the spot when I'm home to flip. Lady, they say how this 26 breaks a long time. Nigga, my last album was The Chronic. They wanna know if still got it. They say rap shit. They wanna know how I feel about it. Anyway, that's on Saturday. Dr. Dre was the thing. I'm ahead of my king. With my league, still fucking the police. Still not loving police. Still rock my cat with a couple of priests. Still got love for the streets, repping 213. Still the beat band, still doing my thing. Since I left, ain't too much change. Still, I'm representing for the gangsters on the ball. Still, it's homeless and I'm lost. Still, thinking I'm down to protect the beat. And I'm still got love for the streets. It's just I'm not representing for the gangsters on the ball. Still, it's homeless and I'm lost. Still, thinking I'm down to protect the beat. And I still got love for the streets. It's literally y'all feeling time to turn for me. I lost some feelings, but it's been Snoopy different again. I get my hands to the streets, signed every limb. Hit the strap and doing this with you. Still, stay close to the beat. Even when I was close, you should think I'm going to my feet. My life's like a soundtrack. I'm going to put the beat. Sleep rap like Cali. I smoke till I'm asleep. Wake up in the AM, control the beat. I bring the fire to your soul. walking in the seat. It's not a sweet, get the slide on the street. Let's turn out the light from the world-class wrecking wood. Theoretic, after mathematics, and the whole drive-by, the anyway, walking, thinking, brain and bags rapid. I did it when I can't see the secret of the things, but it ain't the going foster. What it's still, it's the elders in the hollow. Taking my time, put them foot to beat. It's the secret of the things, but it ain't the going foster. What it's still, it's the elders in the hollow. Taking my time, put them foot to beat. And I'm still down for the street. The G.I.A. It ain't nothing but more hot shit. Another graphic CG, it's all the vibe with. Whether you're cooling on the corner, with the fly, baby, hit me strap in the strap. Play this track, I'm representing for the head to all across the world. I'm breaking them. Put the face in the lap, niggas try to be the king with the ace and the got this way, be the thing, still running the game, still got this rap like a woman. Still ain't fucking love to see young blacks get money. Spend time out the hood, taking moms out the hood, hit my brothers off the job. Come on, niggas hard, barbecue every day, driving fancy cars. Still don't put my bitch on, representing for the gangsters on the fucking world. Still, it's elders in the lolos, still taking my time, put them back to me. And I'm still got love for the street. It's the shit I'm representing for the gangsters on the fucking world. And I'm still got love for the street. It's the shit I'm representing for the gangsters on across the world. It's the elders in the lolos. Taking my time, put them back to me. And I'm still got love for the street. It's the shit right back up in your motherfucking ass. 9-5 plus 4 pennies. And that shit up. DRE. Right back up on top of things. Smoke some what you done. No stress, no fees, no stems, no sticks. Some of that little sticky, yeah. Oh, wait. Put it in the air. Or you suppose they are. Yo, when there's another sucker for the people in the house, I'ma tell you what my crew is all about. The life already. Two kinds of rockers, two kinds all for the girls, men, women, and children. All really equipped with much confidence. And this is how it's gonna make all it. There's some art for being imposters, non creative and whack from
Yeah, interesting. The other pair that was suggested as being used was this here. Yeah, interesting. That would have been a setup. And you would also have been a setup question. Would I have covered those lows? Probably not.
Show business, relax, and action. To be an MC, you got to be so fresh to have style, never less, way above the rest. With the strong delivery, street poetry, heads on with the big story. You think you got the skill, come and take a test.
Oh, check it, it's really a black. The flow like water and can comprehend.
We need longevity in this game to win.
Now, if you can look at the push, you got to move the motivate. That's the money that you make in the industry. Snakes, cause some of these people ain't got no fights. And some of these things will make you beat their emotions. If you can believe, if you can achieve, get the loop. The king be on top of the scene. Keep the people hidden and accumulate fame. Big ocean is
Aussie USD, I'm literally thinking of ones that would have worked on this time frame. You cover that low. Interesting. I mean, that's been trending really nice today, so.
Express them in the orderly fashion. With the men, and the coach men, the fellas staying when the ladies moving their hand. But the girls attend the street on game with the bit of music they keep shining. And the passion, the street satisfaction. The two little tactics that make it stand. But the fun with the good till I when you get ready.
nowadays when you sample and shit, you gotta clear it. For the world of entertainment, but art, but you like that people get paid. The show it's a thing for lights, camera, action, it's a label. For people the world of entertainment, but art, but you like that people. Action!
Yeah, it's not really moved particularly nicely today, gold. If I got in on that very first candle, which I did like the look of but didn't meet my rules, then I'd have had a nice run down. USD JPY, that's moved really nicely today. Valid setups. This would have been a valid setup here because it's closed above the 20. Stop would have gone there. Could be flying up right now. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. This is another valid setup here. Stop under there again. You'd be flying high with that. This wouldn't be a valid setup because there's not a volume. This wouldn't be a valid setup because it's under 20 and there's no volume. And here, attention, no, that wouldn't because it's not above the 20 EMA. And that I would have to zoom in on. That would be a setup. It's a bit sketchy with the EMAs because they're not exactly crossed. That could be a valid one there, and that would have flown through target as well. Even if I'd gone and covered the lows there, that would have been a lovely trade. So that would have been great today. Aussie USD, these are all shorts, so that would have been an entry. No, that wouldn't have been an entry because it's too much wick on the bottom. That would have been an entry there. And it covered the highs. That would have gone down, so probably I'd have moved that to break even, and that would have come out of the break even trade. And then here, nothing until we switch bias when the EMAs swap over. And then we got a first setup here, which would have gone nicely to a 2.3. And if I'm setting a 2 RTP, then that would have nicely gone home. This isn't a setup because there's not enough volume, although I do like how we have tested the 14 EMA, and I like that it's hammer candle, and there's no other setups on there. So that's interesting. How's gold doing at the moment? Oof. The chart's really bugging me. Too much stuff on here. Get rid of the volume for now because that will clear out. Yeah, this has just been fighting with this fair value gap most of the session. Now it's really trying to push through, but it doesn't quite know how to. I'll leave this trade running until we either hit TP or stop loss anyway. The one thing that was added, I recall, was, what is it, the 5-period ATR, I think? That was one of the other settings, what's it called? I think for entries, it always had to be above this line. So here wouldn't have been an entry, and here would. And then same off. I don't know, I'll have to look at the ATR bit again. That's the session basically over, so I'm going to turn this off because it's been 2 hours 40 minutes and no one's watching anyway. So If anyone does watch and make it to the end, well done. That is some commitment.